Hello and welcome to the next Paris haul. Today we are going to be doing museums, shopping and other shops. So yeah, so come join me. We'll start off with the museum stuff because yeah, that's what there is the most of, to be fair. Where are we? I will pull stuff out. I will not be doing prices unless they are literally printed on because I just can't remember them, to be honest. I got these bits in the orangery along with a book. Yeah, sorry, trying to remember what's in what bag. I admired this last time I went and I didn't get it, so I picked it up this time. I got myself a Art Nouveau Metropolitan metro sign just to hang up in my living room on my many walls of things. I got myself there because of course the Orangery and the Orsay are like literally over the bridge from one another. I got myself some socks. These are of Van Gogh's Starry Night, the version before he, bless him, went into the institution. Let's see if it will show it. That one. So yeah, I've got them. I think those were €12, 95 from memory. And then I also got myself some Claude Monet socks because I've never seen these type of socks and they're so pretty. So I got myself some pretty socks. I'm just going to rebag stuff as I go just so I know where things are. And then I also got this one. Yeah. I got a bookmark for my sister actually because she's really been into reading, so I need to put this with her stuff. I'll put that to one side actually. And then I got this because it's quite funny because I stood in this place, so I just had to buy it. This is a picture of Claude Monet in his gardens at Giverny, which I visited, and I stood there, and this is his bridge, and there is the thing with the wisteria that he put there. So yeah, and because this is the smaller end, and then it obviously goes down. So yeah, I stood there watching people, and then it goes down to the smaller end, and this is obviously the bigger bit of the garden of the lily pond. So I had to buy that. And then I also got myself, I did when I went before pick up like the long postcards, so I didn't need the postcards, but I did pick up this book about the water lilies because having read his biography, Mad Enchantment, 10 out of 10, really good. I will keep pimping that book as much as I can. I thoroughly enjoyed it. In fact, my sister asked about it the other day and I'm like, I'll lend it to you. I will pimp out that book to anyone who likes art or is interested in learning more. But yeah, I got this because you have these long fold outs of the paintings, which I thought was such a good idea. And look, so you get all the panels in one go, and there are 4 different fold outs, which I thought was so cool. So yeah, so this wasn't too much, €9.90. And they had them in various languages. I got mine in English for obvious reasons. So yeah, so that was what I got in the orangery. From one of the tourist tap shops. It's actually the only one I went in Montmartre. And I purely went in to go and get these baguette pens. I bought one for myself last time and I love it so much, so I got my best friend one, which I gave to her when she picked me up from the train station because she's adorable like that, as well as I got my sister one, so this is my sister's baguette pen. And then I also picked up a couple of postcards. So yeah, so one is to write to my sister and one is for my sketchbook. These were 50 cents each, not €50. That'd be a very expensive postcard. That is that one. I'm trying to figure out what things are from where. Aha. There are lots and lots of paper bags, and not everything has a like designated thing saying what museum it's from. These were from the Musée de Montmartre, which was really good, by the way. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I nearly didn't go, but I'm really pleased I did. It was what I had to do was give myself an hour and a half sit down between stuff, so it was worth it. There's this amazing painting. It was so big. I'm sure if you watch the vlogs, you'll see just literally the scale of this. It's amazing, but I thought some things I just couldn't show on camera or photograph, like the lovely blue gradient or the details of the ballerinas and stuff, and it is quite a complex painting, so I thought, well, I'm going to get a postcard of that. And then I've got, yeah, this lovely postcard of Le Musée Montmartre as an Art Nouveau poster, which I thought was really cool. They have the art studios of Suzanne Valadon left as was, and I've got a lovely postcard of her palettes and stuff. Sounds really stupid. I did not know that the Chat Noir was a cabaret club. I learned that, I've obviously seen this image my whole life. Did not know it was a cabaret club. And also, yeah, they had like the original like cast iron cat, and there was a paper mache one, and loads of different posters, and it was fascinating to learn about. So yeah, and then they had a temporary exhibition on by Augustine Herbin. It was very interesting. I liked his earlier stuff when it was impressionist, and then went to sort of colorist, but then he went very, a triangle means this, you know, in this colour, and wasn't quite my cup of tea at that level, but I liked his earlier stuff. So I've got a postcard of his earlier stuff, and he did a portrait of Battaglia in 1906, sorry, which I really liked. I thought it was bright and colourful and interesting. So yeah, so I got a postcard of that painting because I liked that one. And then they had these pins by a brand called On the Other Fish, which were apparently limited edition. I've got number 44 of 500, and I thought I didn't get myself a specific just Paris pin, so I got myself a golden metro ticket. This was 14 euros, but I thought it was so cool and so Parisian. Yeah, no, so yeah, this was my cool pin. I did get a Monet pin, but yeah, that was my my Paris pin. Because yeah, it means then I got a pin when I was in Paris, and I also, as I will show you in a second, after I've shown you Rodin, yeah, show you Rodin, and then yeah, my Monet stuff, and there is more in the bag. Went to Musée Rodin. It's very, very good. Unfortunately though, I did get hit with like the worst heat stroke while I was there, and got quite overwhelmed and dehydrated, and just, yeah, didn't feel the grandest, but I had a very good time. And I will go back because I only managed to do the bottom level of the museum and a little bit of the garden, just because it was so hot that day. It was like 32 to 35, feeling hotter, and the humidity was insane, and I was really struggling that day because obviously I overheat, and I struggled to stay hydrated thanks to my medication. So yeah, it was a bit of a struggle bus. So I only managed technically half the museum and half the gardens, so I plan to go back, do the top bit of the museum as well as the gardens, all the gardens next time. But this bit I saw was amazing and thoroughly enjoyable. It was really good. So yeah, so I've got these postcards of some of his statues. Not all of them are, some I saw, some, you know, I thought, I'm not sure I've seen that, but I like the look of it. So yeah, so I've got one of the Thinker. I thought this one was quite cool, of it being revealed. And then him when it was a hotel, when he worked there, before it was turned into a museum, before they turned it into a museum. He donated all his works, and they recreated that room, which I thought was really interesting. I had to get this picture because Rodin is literally, if you type in typical Parisian artist, he is it. And they have these cool postcards that are like shiny, and they look like little Polaroid pictures, and I thought these would be perfect for my sketchbook, so I got these for my sketchbook. So yeah, and then I also got a little pin badge of the thinker. I thought it'd be cool for like going on one of my jackets. So yeah, they had them in various colours and various different things, different ways of, you know, showing the thinker with lots of bits around it. And then I also got a rubber, which is so cute. You wouldn't know, and I was like, just as a tiny statue version. And I won't use him as a rubber, it's going to go on my shelf as a tiny statue. Because yeah, the lovely statues they had and repercussions were of course very expensive. So yeah, so I was like, a little rubber, much more my budget. So yeah, so that's everything I got from the Rodin Museum. And then from the Monet House and Gardens, I'll show you the little bits, then I'll show you the big bits. I spent a lot of money here, I'm not even going to deny it. What's 115 euros? I had a fuck it, why not mentality, and it was my birthday, it was my birthday trip, was how I kind of justified it. So yeah, so I got 2 magnets. I've got one of Waterloo paintings, and then I also got one of, there is a colour photograph. Can you focus? There we go, colour photograph of Monet in front of his house in his gardens, which I thought was really cool, because the geraniums are red and pink and they've replanted it all like that. It's amazing. So yeah, so I've got a couple magnets for my fridge. I got myself a water lily pen, and a clicky pencil. So yeah, I love clicky pencils. And I managed to get myself a Givany Maison et Jardin de Claude Monet pen. Oh, come on, you know you want to focus on the pin and not my face. Sorry, 2 secs. Just tap it, see if it'll like that. Come on, there we go. And it's his house, and it shows the little bridge in front, and it's lovely. I got quite a pile of postcards. I think I got 10. I went a bit ham with the postcards, but I'm only going to go there once, and it was on my birthday, and yeah, why not? So yeah, photo of the bridge. That picture I got, there it is as a postcard. The painting of the bridge, which I will now have to visit again, the one in London. I think this is a copy of the one in Washington. I had to get one saying Givany on it. And then yeah, several of the water lilies in various ways. Because of course, having then visited the orangery afterwards, it just seemed apt to have to, and some of these are like from Musée Montmartre Monet, which obviously I've been to as well, so I have seen quite a few of these in real life, which is very cool. So yeah, I thought this was a nice one. It's a painting of the garden and the house. The little boat, I love the reflections on the water of this one. I was very tempted to get a print of this one, but I didn't. And then also I got this, which I thought was really cool, of yeah, the main path in the garden going up to the house, which I've got a picture in front of actually. So yeah, so they're all the postcards and little bits I got. And then I've got this. It says Claude Monet on it, and it is a tapestry water lily bag, and it is so beautiful. This was 40 euros, but it's amazing. Just I couldn't not, you know. I also got a print of the alley in Monet's garden. It was only 6 euros if you bought it without a mount. And bearing in mind I've got part way of an impressionist hallway going, and I already have the picture of his sunflowers, which is already framed up from the charity shop. Well, I liked this, so I got this one to hang up as I got this while I was there, and yeah, 6 euros was really good value actually. And my other big spend was this book, this book was €39, and yeah, it's Monet's Garden at Giverny, Rescue and Restoration. And it's basically about how they, when they arrived in Giverny in 1974, how the house was derelict and the gardens were derelict, and how basically it was restored back from being just dead, and they rebuilt the bridge, and, you know, all about how they made Monet's Garden back to Monet's Garden for his paintings and photographs and various, you know, all kinds of ways, and I thought that would be really interesting to read about. So yeah, so I got that, because obviously I've read my book about, you know, his life and everything, so I got this. I won't show you much of the inside because boobs and bums, but yeah, I went to the Moulin Rouge on my birthday as well. It was really, really good. There we go, show you the can bit. So yeah, so I got the programme. This was €10. Very cool, because obviously no photograph or filming while you're in there. You could do a little, you know, do a round before the in my vlogs you'll see a little bit of filming I did before the show and a little bit after, but yeah, you do not film or photograph during, so, which is very fair. Think of it like a theatre show. It's how to do it, you know. And then I went to, let me have a look at it on Google Maps. I cannot remember how to pronounce it basically, but Google Maps, 10 out of 10 suggest really, really researching a place, adding a whole load of places to your Google Maps, and then separate them to days, because then, as well as finding places where you want to go, you can then go back to places you're like, where did I go that day? Oh yeah, I went here. Maison Sennelier, Sennelier, is the fancy art shop I went to. And it is, yeah, amazing. The shop of things, it's been there since 1887. It's magical, it's wizardry. I loved it in there, and because of where the, oh here we go, Great Art Supply Shop across the Louvre, it's where Degas, Picasso, lots of famous artists bought all their stuff from, you know. It's a really magical shop, but because it was in a restricted zone thanks to the Olympics, nobody was there. I thankfully had a pass-jeu, so I could get through to that area. So yes, I had all the time in the world, pottered, took pictures of stuff, you know, had a really good time. So I came out with, yeah, I spent about €65 in total there, but again, birthday shopping. I got myself a sketch pad. I got all their sketch pads basically, because if I wanted to get anywhere else I'd just get it anywhere else, but you can only buy their stuff there. And also I learnt they sold it in Monet's Garden in the shop, so yeah, and I'm like, well, it's got to be good. And I learnt that after I'd been there. So yeah, I got this large sketchbook, nearly A4 sized, for rough pencil sketches, and it's really nice paper. I love the little stamp in it, and I love the fact it's a ring finder. So it's, yeah, it's a really good design. This was €12, 82 as the price on the back. So yeah, and it is let's go with inches, 8.5 by 10.5, so that's the size of that one. And then I also got this little one purely because it was dated, and it was nice paper that had examples of stuff on the side. It says Paris 2024, picture of the Eiffel Tower. This was €6.31, and this is 10 by 15 centimeters. And then I have a teeny tiny version of the same little rough pencil sketchbook, and this is, yeah, 4 by 3.5 inches, 10.5 by 7.5 centimeters. 50 sheets for €4.31, and I thought this is like the perfect pocket sketchbook. So yeah, so I got that. And then I also got a pile of pens and other stuff. I can't tell you the prices on these because they were written on the tubs. Some things I remembered to take pictures of, some things I didn't. So yeah, we're just gonna roll with, it's about €65 total. oh, one of the pens has a price on it. This one was €5.34, and it is a Japanese brush pen with Japanese black ink in it. I've had one of these before and it ran out, and they're really hard to find, so I just have to find one of them. This was a really nice Pitt pen. There we go, it's got the name on the back. I won't even try reading it because we all know I can't even speak English some days, so I've got that. I got a Pigma Micron 05 in lime green. It's really hard to show pens, by the way, but yeah. And then I also got the same pen as is 05 at the top, and I also got the same pen in khaki green. So yeah, so I've got two different type of green fine line pens, which I thought were really cool and unusual. I thought, I've never heard of a khaki green pen. I thought doing two-tone drawings would be fun with those two in those two tones. Go on. I look mad doing some of this stuff to get things to focus, by the way. I fully acknowledge that. I got this lovely big chunky Nor Hardmuth pencil in an 8B. And I thought this is just, yeah, really fun. So I got that. I got another black Micron pen in a size 12. Because they had some sizes that were quite big and I liked the nib on it. There's some sizes that were quite big but they were calligraphy. I like the fact this was still sketching, but you know, chunky or chonky. I got a liquid chrome paint pen, which I thought was really cool, and this is, I think, 3mm? 2mm chrome paint pen, and I thought this would be really fun for adding just, you know, highlights and little bits too. I have this style pen in like a sort of red brick colour, so I picked it up in, it's a brush sign pen by Pentel, and I picked it up in this like sort of, you know, darkish sort of yellow and a grey. And then I got this Pilot pen, and it's a brush pen, and it was really nice to work with, and yeah, so I got that as well, and that was my art shop goodies. And then we will go into my goodies from Gallery Lafayette, which after all these years of wanting to go in it, I went to the shops, I went to the rooftop. Did I go to the big Art Nouveau glass dome? No, I completely forgot to. In my defence, it was boilingly hot, and I was just, yeah, I was quite overwhelmed, to be fair. So, so yeah, I went to the Jellycat Patisserie. It was magic. I'll show you what I got normal, because he didn't come special. He is special. Well, she is special. She is Margot Madeline, and she was €24.90. And I love her. She is my birthday cake. She is Madeline with legs. And I've had to find one with the most adorable little face, and she's super soft. So yeah, so I got myself a Madeline. And then I had to go, I made my selection at the patisserie, which I'll show you actually, because I asked for the sheet. I said, I know you've got to rip it. I said, but can I keep it for my scrapbook? And I did. So yeah, so I did my little sheet, and I ordered what I wanted, and then I did my name and ticked it was alright, and then I had to go pay for it at the till. It was €40 per thing, or they had a deal of, if you got all 3 macarons it was €100. One macaron was €40. Then they also had a strawberry tart and a lemon tart were the choices. There is a clip of me doing it, and you know, them boxing it all up on my vlog on day 2 of Paris, if you wanted to see that. But what you get is, as well as a fancy little bag, which of course I bought home with me, you get special stickers of, yeah, the Jellycat Patisserie. and it has, you know, each thing, there's a special thing. So yeah, the macaron, madeleine, lemon tart, strawberry tart, those sort of caramel cakes that are very famous. Oh yeah, they also did a brioche as well. That was the other option, as well as the tarts. There's a Claire. So you get stickers, and you get a pin of whatever cake or thing you buy. So of course I bought macarons, so I got a macaron pin. And then you get your patisserie in its own little box, where it opens up and it is wrapped in paper with a Bon Appetit sticker. I will slide it out because I don't want to rip the sticker. Being that person, and I got myself a strawberry macaron. It's so soft. It is unbelievably soft, and it's got the little logo on the back. And yeah, and it says, "My name is Mia Macaron. Please look after me." So yeah, so I have a little macaron, and am I a grown adult? Yes, but did I have great fun doing this little experience? It was a treat for my birthday. Yes, of course I did. It was really fun and just, yeah, made me feel like a little kid. So highly, highly enjoyed that. But yeah, so there are the bits I picked up in museums, show went to, as well as, you know, art shop and a couple of other shops. So yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, hope let me know, you know, your favourite thing. Have you went to any of these museums? Because I went to, yeah, quite a few. The Montmartre Museum, the Rodin Museum, the Musée d'Orangerie for the water lily paintings, Claude Monet's House and Garden. I think that's it, yeah. Yeah, so that's a good couple of museums in 3.5 days, isn't it? Well, in reality 3 days, because day one I didn't do any museums. So that's, yeah, all those museums in 3 days. Quite impressive. So yeah, and obviously, oh, goodies, and yeah, Jellycats. I had to buy myself Jellycats. But yeah, no, let me know if you've been to any of them. Would you suggest any other little interesting places? Is there anywhere you'd like to go, you know, based on even just the postcards I bought? You know, let me know. Let's have a bit of a chat. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this. If you enjoyed it, drop us a like and a comment. And if you are new here and you would like this content, there would have been one video before this, and there will be 2 videos after this of hauls. And of course there are Paris vlogs. There are 4 vlogs and a pack with me. There's loads of Paris content. I am squeezing the most as I can out of my couple of days away from my birthday. I'm wanting to share as much as I possibly can. So yeah, because I just want to share it with everyone and go, look at the things I did like a little kid. So yeah, so if you did enjoy this and you're new here, please subscribe. I would love to make some new friends. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.